Welcome back to Discover. This time we've moved indoors to the Academy of Martial Arts for a chance to learn a little bit of a skill, get a little bit of discipline. We're going to talk a little bit further with that. And joining us is the director of the Academy of Martial Arts, Dave Couch. Congratulations, first of all, on the Academy here, and welcome to Discover.
Oh, thanks very much.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Academy?
Sure. We're part of an organization that's about 5 clubs in the Greater Toronto area. The main thing that we focus on is the discipline that you get through the martial arts, physical fitness, self-control, awareness, things like that as well. We've been here for about 19, 20 months. It's going really well.
How many students do you roughly have?
Approximately, including kids and adults, probably 250 around there.
You have separate classes for kids and adults? Or
yeah, the children we break up by age group. Okay, making sure that the same age is with the same age, that way they don't get bored or anything. And the adults are in separate classes as well, beginner all the way up to more advanced students.
What's your main objective in stressing to the students?
The main things that we really push for the Academy is to try and get people obviously in physical condition, okay, to learn the self-defense is important. We also work more of a mental aspect as well, a lot of characterization, confidence level, that kind of thing is real important.
I think most of us are exposed to martial arts through the movies and maybe get an impression, but maybe you can tell us perhaps the history of martial arts and including the philosophies, if there's enough time to do all that.
Sure, no problem. Basically, karate itself was developed as a self-defense art. It's not really made as a flashy thing or anything like that. It was developed because the samurai warriors before would come down and pick on Okinawan farmers, and they had to develop a way to fight them because they weren't allowed to use steel at that time. And so they couldn't make their own swords or anything. So they used empty hand techniques. And they developed themselves really well to be able to use that. We also do kabuto, which is Japanese weaponry, which uses wooden weapons only as well. But it was all defensive to save their life, basically.
And beyond that, what's the stages that it's at now? I mean, obviously that was a self-defense mode back then, but is it really still a self-defense, or is it gone around into a mental, I guess, mental training and self-confidence and being, obviously you want to be able to protect yourself, but...
Oh, for sure. The traditional type of Japanese martial art is used not so much as a, because we're not in feudal times anymore, not so much as a self-defense part, but more as a physical fitness regime to get your mind sharper, as a characterization, to become a good person using self-discipline and self-control, all that kind of stuff.
Well, if you got to stay in shape, you might as well learn something while you're doing it, right?
Oh, and have some fun, too.
Yeah, that's great. So your students begin, obviously, with the basics, which I guess you're going to show me some of today, and we're going to get a chance to see some of your students in action as well. But how long would it take to progress through it and develop the black belt such as you have?
The black belt is usually, depending on the student, about 4 to 6 years of training.
Oh.
Okay, averaging probably 2 to 3 times a week. So it's quite a commitment for people. From belt level to belt level, you're looking 4 to 6 months approximately.
Okay.
Again, depending on the student.
Maybe you go through the different, white is beginners, but what comes in between white and black?
White and black. You go from a white belt beginner level, then you go yellow belt, orange belt, green belt, blue belt, brown belt, and then black belt, or Shodan.
So it's about a month or so in between each of those.
About 6 months probably between those.
6 months, pardon me. Wow, that's a lot of training.
Yeah, it is. Again, you're looking for a physical skill as well. There has to be that there too.
So, in the tradition of it, obviously I think the greatest being Bruce Lee. What's happened in the recent years, and going back again to maybe some more of the philosophies of the techniques? Has anything changed, or does it stay pretty much the same? What you're teaching today is what was taught, 30, 40 years ago, etc.?
Yeah. We have put together trips where we've gone to Japan and actually seen where it came from, and it's done exactly the same there. Okay, as much as you could figure, and the philosophy in that is really pushed the same. Okay, to become like I said, to become a good person. There's propagation of the martial arts, which is what we're going to do today is to show people what it's like, and that's what guys like Bruce Lee and Van Damme do. But what you really want to do is think it's more of a personal thing. It's not to necessarily go and show people something that you have as a skill that you can keep quiet instead of trying to let everybody know.
Yeah. So we're going to go into a little bit of routine with myself, and are you going to be the one that's going to be flipping me around the room?
No, we'll. I'll use my two bad guys that I've got
okay.
with us, and what we'll do is we'll go through some basic instruction. We'll do some grabs, how to defend yourself versus grabs. We'll go through some basic blocks, which are the most important. You have to be able to block first if somebody throws a punch at you, and that's basically the first thing that's taught, because it is defensive, really, that way.
So I brought a pair of track pants with me, which I guess I should get changed into, because I presume that I'm not properly dressed for...
Now you want something that's loose-fitting and that you can move around in.
Okay, so I'll get changed, and then we'll get back to the lessons.
Super.
Great, okay. Well, I thought I was going to wear my track pants, but thanks to Dave and to my pleasure, I get to wear the official outfit, and you even have the white belt for me. But there's a way of tying these that's specific? You
Yes,
just
there
don't
is.
wrap it around and put a knot in it, right?
Nope, that's the knot that's put in is called a peace knot.
Is this part of the ritual or the tradition?
Yes, it
It
is.
has to be tied a certain way?
Mm-hmm. The way the belt is tied at a certain level, and the way that the knot is done signifies something as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's the signification?
The signification of it is that the samurai used to carry the swords, and because we're right from Japan, they used to tie a specific type of knot around the hilt of the sword. And if it was this type of a knot, it meant that they did not want to fight. So if they walked into somewhere and everybody looked and saw them, they would know that the sword was tied, so they didn't want to fight. A different type of knot would signify that they were looking for a challenge. Okay, so you tie the belt this way so that...
no challenge for me, all right?
Exactly. Exactly. Okay?
How do you know that? That's interesting.
There's a lot of interesting things, and the reason even that we wear a white uniform, okay, signifies that 90% of it, you're a nice person. Okay, if you look at it, and then you look at a black belt, that means that 10% there is if somebody crosses the line, then you can become nasty, so to speak, or defend yourself. Okay, that's why the white is important. That's why we wear a traditional white uniform.
See, this stuff that we're learning.
Oh, for sure. Learn something new every day. Okay, the belt itself is tied on the gi, which is the name for the Japanese name for the uniform. Okay. It starts, you divide it in half, and you put it right on the center, just below the navel, okay, for most people. Now you're going to wrap it around this way, and it crosses in behind. And then you bring it around in front this way. Okay, you try and even it up as much as possible. Okay, it's honorable to have it as close as possible to each other. Then you bring it down. Now the right side, okay, when you're looking at it this way, it looks like the left, but it would be your right side goes over top of the left one, then ties up underneath both of them. That keeps the belt from splitting. Okay, then it's tied this way. Then the left one now goes over top of the right. Then you pull it tight, and this is the type of knot that you want to have, okay, called the peace knot. Or you've even seen it with the Scouts. It looks like a reef knot.
Do you want to do me a favor?
Sure.
Can you come to my place and tie my neckties for me? No, I'm just going to slip this around on the back side so I don't drop this microphone. Might have to pull this a little bit tighter just to get the
You want a little more
the audio.
tighter?
Okay, well, the technology part of this is wonderful.
No problem.
There we go. That'll hold it.
Okay.
That'll hold it. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Okay, we're all set.
Now, what are we going to do?
Okay, come on over here. Usually in a traditional dojo, you always face the front. Okay, wherever the shrine is usually the front area. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through some basics. Okay, the blocks are the most important, so we'll start from there. There's 3 areas of your body that you want to block. The lower area, which is considered below your belt. The middle area, okay, considered blocking your solar plexus. And of course the head, which is probably the most important of the 3. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask these 2 guys to come in and stand on either side. Go ahead, guys. Paul, come over here.
You know, one thing I
right
noticed, there's a lot of formality as well when they enter. Would this be the ring, or?
This is the ring when they're inside the dojo, which is the whole room. Dojo means training hall, as opposed to like a gym or something like that. Okay, so somewhere where you come and you learn the martial arts. There's a certain etiquette that's followed, and it's taught right from a beginner level. Okay, and it's not something that if you do something wrong you get hit or anything, but as you go along, the senior people help the junior people when they come in. So you would have an orange belt coming in helping out someone like yourself who'd never done it before, teach you how to tie the belt and the uniform. So it's not as scary a thing as everybody thinks it is. Although walking in 10 years ago, a lot of times the martial arts schools were they were pretty hard. There was no beginner level. They just kind of got thrown in there. Now it's a little different. I want more people to be able to come in and do the martial arts because it's more important now.
Yeah, and just seeing the etiquette, it shows the discipline side of learning martial arts.
Certainly, and
That's great.
the nicest people I know are all black belts. Amazing, eh? Okay, we're going to start off, we're going to work a stance, we'll just call it a sumo stance. So you just want to split your legs out this way, okay, about double shoulder width, so to speak, and you just turn your toes out. This is one of the traditional stances that we're going to go through, okay? The 3 blocks, the first one we're going to start with, just take your left hand and you just want to place it down across in front of your groin. Your right hand's going to pull back this position. This position is called chamber, okay, and it's always so that your other hand has somewhere to go. The first block that we work, this hand comes up to your opposite ear, so you're going to bring it all the way up and around. That's it. And you try and touch your elbows together, so this blocks your center area. Then that hand is going to come all the way down. The other one pulls back. Okay, and this one wants to go right out in front of the groin. That's it.
Okay.
Now, each block is done the same way. So the hand in chamber that's back always comes up to your other ear. That's it. Then it comes down and blocks, and the other one pulls back. Good, very nice.
Oh, I see.
This hand now comes up. That's it. Then it goes down. That's it. Comes up. And it goes down. That's okay. That's okay.
I'm
That's
confused.
a
All right, here we go.
normal beginner thing. Now, we
It's
add...
the coordination part of it.
Oh, for sure. Okay, and what happens is a lot of beginners come in and they get frustrated because they can't get it right away. Okay, and what happens is they've got to understand that it's something new, something different. Okay, like when you first drive a car.
Mm-hmm. But trying to go too fast is where probably they get frustrated.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Trying to
And they try and compete with the other people around them, and they have to realize that these people have been doing it for, nearly a year and a half on either side of you, so you can't compare yourself as well.
Well, competitiveness is always there.
For sure.
Do you try to not promote that? Just worry about yourself and don't get competitive.
Yeah,
with your
especially at
neighbor?
the start. I mean, there's always the competitive spirit will come out. It makes it good for other people.
Okay.
But you always want to try, especially at the beginner level, to really empty your cup, come in and just kind of go, okay, I don't know anything. Let's try it.
Okay.
Okay, now the hand comes up. This time we're going to do some breathing. So as it comes up, you want to breathe in your nose, and then you breathe out as it hits down, like this, and you make what's called an accelerated breath. Weird noises. It's all karate, don't worry about it. So the hand comes up, you breathe in, then it blocks down, you breathe out. This way. Good, very nice. Hand comes up, breathe in, and block. Other hand comes up, breathe in, and block. Good, very nice. Shake it off for a sec.
I move my arms and everything twisted around.
Oh, that's okay. That happens always at the first. Okay, now, we'll split it out again. This time we're going to work a middle area block. Okay, so that one was a block for a kick, say, going to the groin area.
That's an important one to know.
Oh, for sure. Okay, now, you take your left hand, you're going to pull it up and bring it this position out in front. So it's about shoulder height, and approximately your elbow's about a fist distance off your ribs. The other hand goes into chamber again. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it mirror image for you, so it's probably a little easier.
Okay, thank you.
This hand now, that's in chamber, comes underneath this time. The other arm, that's it, and then it comes all the way around this way, and the other one pulls straight back. That's it. So you pretend there's a punch coming in, and you're coming around and you're knocking it out of the way. Good. Then the hand in chamber comes underneath again. It comes around and makes the block. That's it. Turns over at the end. Super. Hand in chamber comes underneath. Comes all the way around.
You twist your arms.
That's it. And it makes the block. Good. Now we add the breathing to it too. Okay, so the hand in chamber comes underneath. You breathe in. Then as you block, breathe out this way. Sounds weird, just give it a whirl. Hand in chamber comes underneath, you breathe in, and block. That's it, good. Hand in chamber comes underneath, breathe in, block. Hand in chamber comes underneath, breathe in, block. Good, very nice. I'll just shake it off for a sec. Good, okay, that was the lower and middle area, and now we go for the important one. Luckily, the high one is a little easier than the other ones. Okay, so we split out again to our sumo stance. Take your left hand, put it up over top of your head this way. Your other hand goes into chamber. Now you want it so that the thick part of your arm is right in front of your forehead. So if somebody's trying to come down on top of you, make the block easily. Now the hand in chamber this time comes up, and you're going to make an X in front. Go ahead. That's it.
On the outside?
Yeah, it's on the outside. Very nice, good. That hand now comes up over top, and the other one just pulls back into the chamber area. Super. Good. Then the hand in chamber comes in front of the X, goes up and blocks.
Oh, I had my hands wrong.
That's it. That's okay. Make the X and block. Good. Make the X and block. Good. Now we add the breathing to it too. The hand chamber, you make the X, you breathe in there, and then as it goes up, you block, breathe out. Good. Make the X, breathe in, and block. Good. Make the X, breathe in, and block. Make the X, breathe in, and block. Good, very nice. Good. Up, just shake it off for a sec. Good. Those are the 3 blocking areas, and probably the most important things in the martial arts is to know how to block first. We're going to move on to a grab attack, okay? Most of the times attackers usually end up in a grab situation, okay, and how to deal with somebody who's grabbing, how to get away, that kind of thing as well. Okay, we're going to use Andy here as the attacker. Okay, so he's going to come up.
You're my best friend, you know, I would never hurt you. Just making sure he doesn't, you know, bruise me in any way.
Okay, he'll probably get bruised anyways. Okay, he comes up now. You're just going to stand in a nice relaxed stance facing him. Okay, and he's going to grab a double wrist grab. Okay, so he reaches in and grabs. This one, especially from a lady's point of view, they want to grab for control, okay, on a person. Now, to get away in a self-defense situation on a grab, there's basically 4 things that that you need to do. The first one is to relax. So when somebody grabs you, it usually freaks you out a little bit.
Tense up.
Yeah, exactly. So to do that, you have to breathe out. Okay, that basically, there you go. Now you're a little more relaxed.
That's all right.
Doesn't mean turn to jello or anything. Now, the second thing you do is a persuader. Okay, in this case, a persuader that's easiest to use is a quick stomp to the foot. So you'd use the heel and go right for the toes of either foot. Just don't crush his foot or anything.
Would it matter which foot you use?
No, it wouldn't matter. Whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Yep, you would crunch it right on his foot. Good. That'll take his mind off the grab now. You feel him loosen up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, now, the third thing we have to do is the actual self-defense or a breakaway technique. So you're going to take your backhand and you're going to bring it up. And what I want you to do is I want you to punch it down over top of his arm so his wrist hits his wrist. You can do it just slow.
Would I still have my foot over here?
No, you probably have brought it back again so you have more stability.
All right.
Then you punch down over top, that's it. And then you pull that other hand back and you're going to hit him one more time with what's called a teisho. Okay, with the backhand.
I could see it coming. This is going to come across.
Yeah,
right?
it can come across and smack him right across the face. Go ahead.
Okay,
just don't
so
kill him. That's it. And then the next thing that you would do at the end, that one is called the hit, and they go together, hit and run. So you would hit him one more time and take off.
I like that part.
Yeah, the run part.
See ya.
Good, because the main thing about a self-defense too is that you always assume that the person who's grabbing you is a superior opponent, or there's more than one of them.
But they also might not be superior. They're just the element of surprise is what they have on you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it can be anybody. They've designed that apparently a normal attacker is about 165 pounds, Caucasian, all this kind of stuff. Really weird that they must have asked all the victims or something. But so you're looking at just a normal person. Okay, could at any time just kind of snap and decide they want to attack somebody. Okay, in any situation. But from the karate standpoint, what we always do is we train or do it a little harder so that if the person was way bigger than us or there was more than one of them, that we'd be able to do something about it that way, mentally as well. Now the second grab we're going to do, he's going to do a double lapel grab. So coming up, this is like a schoolyard favorite. So he comes up and he grabs. Okay, in this case your hands and your feet are available to use. Okay, so you're going to stomp down the foot. Again. Either one, yeah. So. There we go, good. Okay, now, you notice his head comes forward because it hurts. You're going to bring both hands up, like this to the side, and you're going to place cymbals on his ears. Just don't hit him. Okay, just go like this. Good, that'll also hurt a lot. Now, to get away from the grip, because he's got your clothes, it's a real good, strong grip. One hand you're going to take goes up in between his hands, doesn't matter which one. Now, you're going to reach over top and grab with the other one. So you have 2 hands over top of his one. That's it. Now, you want to hit straight down on his wrist. Then you want to come straight back up on the wrist. That's it. And then he's wide open. You just probably smack him right in the nose.
Give him a hammerhead.
That's it. And then you take off again. Okay. Now, the third attack that we're going to go for will be a throat grab. Okay. And the thing about a throat grab is that it can cut your air off. The other 2 grabs, they can't really hurt you unless they try to punch you or something. But with a throat grab, you get that feeling. People hate their throat being grabbed. Okay. So he reaches in and he grabs. Hits the thumbs right around the throat. Okay, now, the same thing applies as well for the persuader, or the thing that you want to make him relax to let go. So you stomp the foot, and this time you're going to take your two hands like this, you're going to put them nice and tight together. These are called nukates, and you're going to stick them underneath the armpits. And to loosen them up a little bit. Okay, now, one hand, doesn't matter which one, actually use your right, put it straight up in the air, like that, and I want you to step back with your left leg as far back as you can, and just knock his hands away that way. Okay, you want to actually turn your body too.
Oh, so how am I going to knock him away?
Yeah, that's it. Just turn just like that. And then that same hand will come right back, right to the
At
nose.
this point, can I just run?
Sure, you could, but you think about it. You just stomped on his foot, so he's probably pretty mad. So you want to give yourself a little more
So
time.
I want to give him a little.
Yeah, one more time just to get away. Okay, it's not as if we go grab the
Insult
chair.
family and off I go.
That's it. You don't want to go grab a chair and like do the flying elbow on him or anything like that, obviously. But you want to give yourself enough time to be able to get away
But
from the person.
again, thinking about it, the element of surprise, you start to panic. But when you break it down and you actually learn the steps to do it, boy, it's real simple to break free from somebody if you know the steps of what to do next, because you can just see how everything just falls into play. My hand ends up over here, and then I can give you one more smack across the head, say, what are you doing, pal? And
the main thing
off I
about
go.
this self-defenses too is that it's really easy to hurt somebody. Okay, which is why it takes a long time to be able to go through. You could see that if you put your fingers in his eyes, how much it would hurt. Everybody at home has poked themselves in the eye before. Okay, and you walk around for 15 minutes like this, wondering if you poked your eye out. Or the same thing if you've ever been hit in the groin area. Okay, especially on a male, really hurts. Okay, and it'd be easy to do that. Exactly, you have the high voice and things like that. But at the level when you start training, right now we're breaking it down, so it seems to be real slow and everything else, and you think, well, an attack will be really fast. So it takes a long time to be able to do the training whereby it'll come out a little bit faster.
When you have that self-confidence to know what you're doing,
Exactly.
it seems real simple.
Knowledge is most of the battle.
Yeah.
Okay, and then practical application, which is the practice of it inside a karate school, would probably give you that edge that'll probably save your life sometime.
What's next?
Okay, next what we'll do is we'll go for an attack from behind as well. Okay, because a lot of times you might have 2 or 3 attackers and a behind one. So if you just want to turn around and face the window, Glenn. Okay, Andy's going to come up and he's going to grab you in a bear hug over the arms. Okay, this is a normal type of attack for somebody, so he's going to come around and try not to crush anything. There you go, he's got the hold on. Okay, now from here your arms are trapped and your feet are the ones that are going to use it for the persuaders to start. So you stomp the foot again, because it's the easiest thing to go. It doesn't matter which one.
But I have no idea where his feet are. He might be...
It's pretty easy. If you miss the first time, you just keep on stomping until you find it.
Stomping,
Okay, the main thing you want to do is take his mind off the grab. Okay, because that's where his strength is right now.
Okay.
Then also, as soon as that happens, you still have lower use of your arms. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to hit back down beside you this way. Okay, and what you'll hit is either inside of his leg or maybe even the groin area.
Should I have a fist?
What you want to do is keep the hands straight like this and kind of chop them. You can use your Bruce Lee karate chop. There you go.
So
Good. Now, to get away from the grip, you want to take your shoulders and just shrug them forward this way. So you're creating a gap. You take one hand, slide it up inside. Take the other one over top and grab on. Now you're going to push straight out with the hands. Same time, you want to push back with your rear end. That sends them backwards a little bit. Then you can just turn and you do a double hand to his head, and you'd be gone that way.
I kind of like that.
And the attacker gets hurt. Okay, those are the basic self-defenses that I wanted to cover with you.
Is
okay?
that the most cases, particularly maybe for females, is the being attacked from somebody grabbing from behind?
Yeah, the most probable attacks from a female point of view will be a bear hug over the arms, a double wrist grab, or a throat grab. The main reasons are because the attacker wants control over the person. Okay, and usually, unfortunately, for somebody who doesn't do the martial arts, usually, like you said, it's a real freaky situation, and usually they freeze, and if they say you have about 2 to 2.5 seconds in any self-defense situation to do something before the attacker has you in a position where you can't do anything anymore.
Okay. So we just touched on the basics. There's a lot more to go. Where are we going to go next, actually?
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to work some of the fighting. Okay, or the sparring part, which is basically sparring is an action-reaction drill whereby you're going with an opponent and you're learning how to block and move around and things as well.
Okay, so we'll do that as soon as we come back. Okay, one final step, and then we're going to let the pros show us how it's done. What are we going to do now, Dave?
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to work a basic sparring or kumite type of drill. Okay, Paul's going to be the attacker. He's going to come at you with a hook punch, okay, several at a time. And I want you to keep your hands up and open this way. Okay, this is a defensive stance, okay, with the one foot stepping back just like you were doing. This way it looks like the attacker sees you and your hands are up. No, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to fight. Okay, but as he goes to throw the punch, you'll see that an open hand can be just as effective. Okay, so Paul's going to do the attacking, and I just want you to move around. Just keep your hands up and block his punches as they come in. Okay, anytime you're ready, Paul.
Yeah.
Say, good, good. So just react whenever his punch comes. Good. And this kind of from this kind of a defensive stance as well, it'd be easy to hit him into the face.
And he's actually
takes some time.
doubles on me here.
Oh, for sure. Good. Okay.
Should I be keeping my eye contact all the time, or looking where my hands are going?
You basically want to look in the center of the chest and just kind of see everything.
Okay.
Another philosophical thing. In the sparring, in that yame is the word for stop. Okay, and that's a Japanese word, so usually you'll hear me yell it real loud, especially in the sparring part, because somebody could get hurt. So I want to make sure we can stop it quickly.
Okay, and then we bow. That's accustomed to do so.
Yeah, you always bow at the first and at the end.
Okay.
It just shows courtesy and respect for the person you're working with.
Okay, great. So I've learned some of the basics. And I got to tell you, really, if you know this stuff, you don't feel as bad. We've been sort of talking about self-defense side of it, but there's also self-confidence involved here, like you touched on at the opening of the show, the self-confidence, the physical fitness. We're not just talking about trying to defend yourself here.
No, it's not. It's not the ego thing where you want to go out and win trophies and stuff. It's really for how would you feel if in any situation you could defend yourself. Okay,
Excellent.
for a lot of people, that would be a real, a big thing in their life. It might even change the whole life.
Yeah, the object here isn't fighting. The object here is self-confidence,
exactly,
and self-control. So that's about it for what I'm going to learn, and then Paul and Andy are going to give us a demonstration of how a couple pros are going to go at it.
Pros in their own right, yeah.
Okay, well, we look forward to that right now then. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay, feet together, guys. Seat ready. What we're going to see here is what's called spontaneous attack. This is a little bit more full speed. The guys are going to use maximum control even though they're going full at it, but this is what it should look like in a real street fight. Okay, Paul attacks first. As you may, go. Go attack, Andy. Okay, ready? Back to the beginning. Fight each other. X-ray. Plus. That gives you a bit of an idea of the intensity that can come out in a class.
Pretty intense. Yeah.
That's after training for a little while, so it takes some time. But as you notice, they're both still standing.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Good control.
Welcome back to Discover. As you can see, there's a lot to learn. We only touched on the basics here today, but I sure learned a little bit in the amount of time that I had here. But one thing I really have to learn, I guess, is the coordination of getting the fists turned in and out, and as the sign says, the way is in the training, and I guess that's what it's all about, getting here and getting trained, getting the self-confidence to do all this, of course, staying physically fit in the meantime.
It takes time. It's a lot of fun. And for anybody that thinks that it's all just kicking and punching, there's more to it.
Yeah, well, there's a whole lot more to it. And Dave, appreciate your time today.
You're very welcome.
And
Thanks for
teach
coming
me a little
down.
bit. At least now I know that I can do a little bit more before I have to run. Thanks a lot.
Super. You're very welcome.
Thank you.